When I think about the word forgive, I don't think of peace. I think of restraint, a quiet, sharpened blade I've learned to hold steady behind a calm smile. It started with Haley Quinn. We met sophomore year at Jefferson State University, two girls bound by shared caffeine addictions and the illusion that loyalty meant something in college friendships. She was the kind of person who filled every room with noise, laughter that bordered on performative, eyes that darted toward attention like a plant bending toward light. But back then, I thought she was magic. We'd spend nights in her dorm room, painting our nails with drugstore polish and talking about the futures we didn't really believe in yet. She'd say, "You and me, Morgan, we'll make it. No one else in this dump gets it." I believed her. Then came the group, the orbit we accidentally fell into, Becca, Nora, Tiff, and the untouchable Logan Danner, the campus golden boy with a jawline sculpted by good genetics and privilege. Haley wanted them, their approval, their spotlight, and I watched it happen, inch by inch, like a tide creeping over sand. It started small, a missed text, a forgotten study date, then whispers. By spring, I'd become the punchline to jokes I didn't even know existed. Apparently, I was obsessed with Haley, jealous, clingy. Apparently, I'd tried to sabotage her chances with Logan. I didn't know how those stories began, but I knew whose mouth they came from. When I confronted her, trembling, heart-pounding, she smiled that pitying smile that makes you feel smaller than the truth ever could. "Oh my God, Morgan, you're overreacting. You sound kinda paranoid." The gaslight flickered. I left her room that night with mascara streaks and a taste in my mouth that felt like betrayal coated in lip gloss. By the next week, my seat at the coffee shop went empty. My phone stayed silent. Haley's Instagram filled with smiling faces, mine erased like I'd never existed. It should have ended there. But humiliation has a way of fermenting into clarity. Summer came and went. I rebuilt quietly, switched dorms, got a new job at the campus library. My world became smaller but steadier, an island of quiet routines and a few real people who didn't need an audience to feel real. Then, almost a year later, she came back. I remembered the exact moment, a late September evening, library nearly empty, light filtering through the dusty windows. She walked in, thinner, slower, her once perfect confidence dulled at the edges. "Hey, Morgan," she said, voice fragile, like she was testing a language she'd forgotten. I looked up from the circulation desk. My pulse didn't even spike. "Hey." Her eyes flickered, searching for warmth that wasn't there. "Can we talk?" I motioned to the empty tables. "You can talk. I'll listen." She exhaled, sat down, and told me everything. Apparently, her new friends, Becca and Logan and the rest, had turned on her, used her secrets for entertainment, made her their joke when she stopped being useful. She was devastated, heartbroken, betrayed. The irony. I miss what we had," she said, eyes welling. "You were the only real one." It was almost beautiful how little self-awareness could fit inside a single sentence. I told her I understood. I told her that people make mistakes. And I told her we could talk again sometime, maybe. But I also knew this. She wasn't sorry for what she did. She was sorry for being alone. The timing couldn't have been more poetic. 2 weeks later, the university's annual alumni dinner was announced, a glittery, semi-formal event hosted on campus. Haley was on the volunteer team, desperate for redemption. She asked if I'd come, said it'd mean a lot. So I did, but not for the reasons she thought. The night of the event, I wore a simple black dress, nothing that begged for attention, just something that fit the quiet fire I'd become. I watched Haley flit around, performing apologies like theater, pretending to have moved past her own scandal. And then, as fate loves symmetry, Logan showed up. The same boy who once spread rumors about me because she let him. Only this time, he was clearly avoiding her, standing near the bar with that same hollow charm he probably practiced in mirrors. Haley's eyes kept drifting toward him, guilt tangled with longing. That's when I knew my revenge wouldn't come through exposure or cruelty. It would come through grace, the one thing she never mastered. The next morning, I texted her, "Coffee? Let's talk. No hard feelings." She agreed instantly. We met at a small cafe off campus. She looked exhausted, but hopeful. She wore too much makeup, as if she could hide the cracks. "Thanks for meeting me," she said softly. "I didn't think you'd want to." "I've been thinking," I said, stirring my latte, "about everything. The past, you, me." She leaned in, her smile tentative, searching. "I forgive you." She blinked, taken aback. "What?" "I forgive you, Haley, for what you did, for the rumors, for leaving when things got hard." Her throat worked. "You do?" "Yes, I do." Silence filled the air. Not the comforting kind, but the heavy, trembling kind that holds too much truth. Her eyes watered, her lips quivering, as if forgiveness were something sharp lodged in her chest. She whispered, "I don't deserve that." I know. It wasn't cruel. It was honest. And in that moment, something inside her broke. Not out of pain, but recognition. The realization that forgiveness can burn brighter than any revenge. The story could have ended there, a quiet cafe conversation and two women walking separate ways. But fate, I've learned, has a sense of timing too theatrical to ignore. A week later, Haley approached me again, this time asking if I'd come to her birthday dinner. "I want to start fresh," she said, "like, show everyone we're okay." I almost said no, but then I saw the opportunity. Because forgiveness isn't just an emotion, it's strategy, if you know how to wield it. The dinner was held at the Red Finch, one of those downtown restaurants with soft jazz, dim lights, and overpriced appetizers. The whole group was there, Becca, Nora, Tiff, even Logan, all pretending to be adults. When I walked in, heads turned. "Morgan, you made it," Haley said, her voice too bright. She hugged me tightly, like proximity could erase history. I smiled. Wouldn't miss it. Halfway through the evening, after the drinks started flowing, Becca, predictably drunk, began to stir trouble. "So, Haley," she said loudly, "didn't you used to hate Morgan?" The table froze. Haley laughed nervously. "Oh my God, no, that was forever ago." Becca smirked. "Sure, you said she was psycho for thinking you copied her term paper, remember?" Haley's face turned pale. I could have let her drown in it, but instead, I set my glass down and said evenly, "It's fine. People say things when they're insecure. I forgave her a long time ago." The table went silent. All eyes turned to Haley, who looked like she'd been slapped. The moment stretched, the air tight. Then Becca laughed awkwardly, changed the subject. But the damage was done. Everyone saw it. Her fragility, my composure, the unspoken shift of power. After dinner, she pulled me aside near the bathroom corridor. "Why did you do that?" she hissed. "Why did you say that in front of them?" I tilted my head. "Say what? That I forgave you?" Her eyes flashed. "You made me look pathetic." "I didn't make you look anything, Haley. You did that yourself." Her voice cracked. "You wanted them to pity me?" "No," I said quietly. "I wanted them to see the truth." She stared at me, trembling. "You think this makes you better?" "I don't need to be better," I said. "I just stopped playing." The next few weeks were quiet. She withdrew again, this time without the dramatic flair. Her social media went silent. I'd see her on campus sometimes, a shadow of the girl who once orchestrated my public undoing. And maybe that should have made me feel triumphant, but it didn't, because forgiveness, real forgiveness, isn't about them. It's about freeing yourself from the echo of what they did. After the ceremony, as the crowd scattered into laughter and photos, I found myself standing alone on the lawn, the sun cutting gold through the trees. A professor stopped to congratulate me. "So, Morgan," she said, "what's next?" I smiled. "A new story." And for the first time, it felt true.
You've just stepped into her revenge side, where every wound finds its justice, and every silence ends with truth. If her story struck a chord, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these stories alive. Another secret waits in the next video. See how her revenge begins.